Welcome back. This is day 6 of my new system, which has undergone a couple of changes since I began, but basically it starts with analyzing my Lichess rapid game from the night before, and then doing something like puzzles or playing a bot for as much time as I have. Basically, the idea was for me to have a schedule so that I would actually study or try to get better at chess every single day. In this case, I don't think I need to analyze my rapid game from last night. This is the position after 10 moves. I have a +2 advantage, and my opponent has made the inaccuracy of playing their knight here where I can directly attack it with this pawn. And if I don't do something, this square here is unguarded on d3, and my opponent's about to check me, which will force me to move my king, but I didn't see that. I thought the knight was trying to come in here. I don't know why I thought that. And so I played b3 to stop that, and I also thought b3, might let me get this bishop out this way. But for some reason, even though the knight is right here, I did not see that, that the knight was aiming at these squares, especially this one. So I spent 8 seconds deciding on that move, which is a blunder. It's not a game-ending blunder, but it does allow my opponent to play here, which they did in 1 second. Which tells me that they were aiming here if I didn't do anything to stop it. There is, of course, only one legal move in this position, and that's to move my king over, and then their knight can stay there for a minute. Well, the engine has run a little bit, and it says it's actually 0.6, minus 0.6, but when I ran the game review, it said minus 1.2. I don't know, can you see that on the chart there? It says minus 1.2. That's what I first saw. At this point, I resigned because I had clearly messed up really early, and yes, I could have gone ahead and played this out, but this isn't the rating that I care about, which is the rapid rating on chess.com. So I said, forget it. I was done for the night. So that only took a couple of minutes. Now I'm going to play some Puzzle Rush and hopefully have some time to play a bot as well. All right, I'm back on Puzzle Rush. The last couple of times that I did this, I ran into something very weird, or the last time it was a checkmating position in which I had mate just about no matter what I did. One of them was obviously faster, but then when I went to analyze it to make sure, it said all the other moves were draws, and that of course was incorrect. So that threw me off and kind of was a sour ending to that video. I apologize if any of you thought my attitude got off kilter there. Best today, 14. I haven't done this yet today. Okay. There's always something, and I'm sorry that I get distracted by these things, and that's one reason probably that I have trouble in complex positions in chess is because all kinds of other things distract me. I don't know why that is, just something about my personality, I suppose. But yeah, I have not played this yet today, on camera or off camera, so my best today should be blank. But anyway, I am going to play a 3-minute version of this. Oh, that's checkmate. Before it moved, I was kind of hoping that's what the bishop would do. You're right. I guess I can take that knight. It's just free, isn't it? Oh, and then they checked me. Can I block that? Oh, I can block that with my rook. Oh, they took it. Well, that was easier than it should have been. I'm playing with the white pieces. Well, this looks easy. Okay. Black pieces. I have a check. I don't know if that's the best move. They're coming after my other rook here. Well, let's check, and then I can get my other rook out of danger. Is that mate? Okay. I think it was because my pawn was guarding the getaway square. That time my bishop was protecting my queen, and here my knight is going to protect my queen. And here my bishop is going to protect my queen, since they didn't take it when they could have. This is checkmate here. Do I have a checkmate on this one? I do. It's right there with the bishop protected by the knight. And this one is, what do we have here? Oh, I have a checkmate. Not quite a checkmate, but getting close. I think the king could have moved over one, but I'm not sure. I have a check down here. I don't think that's quite mate, because the bishop can, the rook can block, and then the bishop. Is that mate? Okay. And here I think I make the king go back and then check again. Okay, good. It's giving me lots of checkmates. I'm playing with the white pieces. Let's see. Is that checkmate? It looks like it. I guess it was. Black pieces. Okay. I think here I'm going to take this pawn. When they take back, I'll take with the queen, and that'll be mate, I think. Because of where the two rooks were, their king couldn't escape. Here I'm playing with the black pieces. Ooh, not sure what I should do. Should I take the bishop, or should I take the bishop with the rook? And then when they take back, I'll have a passed pawn. That's check, and then there, and then they can't catch that pawn. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, I'm down to 42 seconds. Okay. Where are my pieces? Ooh, do I have a checkmate? I have a check. And then they have to go back. And then I don't know what to do. I'm not sure what to do. Do I check here? No, their queen's guarding that square. I have no idea. Oh, a check with the knight. Okay, wow, that took me too long. All right, Yeah, I don't know what to do in this one either, but they are getting a little harder here. I don't know. Yeah, I figured I would miss that one. Oh, here, nope. Okay. We've definitely gotten to the point where I'm going to miss some puzzles. Okay. Weekly best. I'm just going to guess that those 3 I missed are ones that I would have gotten correctly had I had, felt like I had some time to spend on them, but I knew my time was running out, and so I just did something here. My opponent took my queen. What should I have done? Oh, I should have checked here with this rook. And then they had to block and then check. Okay, yeah, that was mate, I think, because of my knight guarding that square and my rook guarding that square. Okay, and at least this time I didn't miss the first puzzle, which I think I did on a previous session of this. Okay, here my opponent moved their king out of the way of that pawn. Should I have just run my pawn? Because I can't catch them, right? Well, I guess I'll promote first, and then they'll promote, and then what? Is that what I should have done? Okay, well, we did that. Now what? Oh, now I check them and win their queen, and I have another pawn. Okay. I got that. Why did they move away from the queen? They could have at least got mine. I don't think that couldn't have been their best move, could it? Right at the end? Yeah, that. I don't think that was their best move, was it? Yeah, king to c8 was their best move. Or king to d7. King to c6 isn't one of the top 5. All right. I'm not sure why those say minus 35, those first two, because either way, I think it still would have been mate very quickly. I think Stockfish ought to be able to calculate a mate on that one, because even if they had stayed here to defend the queen, and I was going to take it and they would take it, I just have to get out of the path of this pawn. It still hasn't found a mate? That's interesting, because I can find a mate here no matter what they do. I assume they would go for my pawn, but it says king to c7 is actually slightly better. Okay, now it's found a mate. I was curious about that, because you and me and almost anybody we know could have found a mate way back here, even if they... Okay, now it has. Now it has. It changed. Now it's found a mate as far back as... Okay, not here yet. And it says their best move is actually to promote to a rook. Well, we know that's not true. Okay, well, I did understand that one because obviously I have another pawn and they don't. Okay, and the last one I didn't have time to do. Let's see, they played that. And what did I do? I played here, but then I think I messed up on the following move. That move, I should have... Okay, well, I've been staring at this a while. I'm still not sure what I should have done here. I mean, obviously I can check safely again on these two squares, but then the king gets away, and then the rook is facing my queen. And if I was here on h4, well, I don't want to go down there and check because of their knight. So if I check here and they go down there, and then I go down there, and then they go again? That can't be it. Oh, it was it. Okay. Now I check down here. Wait, they're just going to go back, right? I don't understand. Okay, we're going to go to the analysis board. Okay, it says black was slightly ahead until they played that, and now I have a +4 if I just check them a couple of times and their king moves around. During the puzzle, I don't know what happens after, but during the puzzle, I did not win any pieces, and I'm pretty sure I didn't checkmate them. But queen to g5 is my only good move. Okay, I found that one, and then I think after that I ran out of time because they played king to... Oh, it says f7 is better, but the puzzle went this way, and I only have one move, which was h5. Okay, well, I found a reason not to play h4, so h5. Now they only have one legal move, and I only have one move that's winning, which is down here. Well, of course, they have to go back. Okay, there for a second, it had queen to h5 as the top move, but you see how those are equal ratings? This is something that came up in the comments under a recent video where Stockfish was messed up. Anderson Connors mentioned how many times this has happened where Stockfish says, oh, go back where you were, and they'll go back where they were, and so on, and you'll have a huge advantage. Look at that. That's a repetition. Watch this. Queen to h5. Oh, what does black have? Black has to go here. Well, my best move by far is to go down here. Okay, the king comes back here. My best move is to go back, and that's a draw, not a win. Okay, but I did notice, yeah, see how it has there? This game ended in a draw because the same position was repeated 3 times. Not +9, zeros. Draw is a 0. Well, it's a half if you're in a tournament, but I mean zeros. It's not plus or minus for either one of us. So going back here, when they moved this way, and I had to check here, and they went down, and the puzzle ended here, well, we know they had to go here. It was the only legal move. And Stockfish is wrong, again, but the next move that's rated almost as good as knight to g5 check. So if the puzzle had kept going, would it have wanted us to move here and repeat and claim that we were ahead? No, we would have to play this in a game. Now they come up here, and what do we do? Okay, now we can take the bishop, so that's actually winning, but now they can take our knight. Now if they do, we have a mate in 2. Because if they take our knight, then we can check here with the rook, and they have to go to g4, and then we checkmate here on g6. So they won't take the knight. Let's say they play g6 to block that check. Well, now we can check down here. Now, if they go forward, we can checkmate them right here because the knight's guarding those two squares. The queen's guarding all of this. But if they go here, we have a mate in 20. And if they drop back one, it's plus 34. So let's say they dropped back one. Okay, we can take this pawn with check, but our best move here is to take the rook, okay? It's not their best move to take back with the king. It's not even listed, but taking back with the queen is one of their moves. But checking us on d4 is a possibility. Well, we're going to move over, and we're still at plus 44, and their best move is to put the queen right here. Not to take the knight, but to put the queen right here. And our best move is to come out. Okay, well, let's say we came out. I wouldn't find that in an actual game, probably. I don't know. Their best move, not by far, but by a little bit, is to push this pawn. Okay, well, let's say they did that. Our best move is to trade off the knights. Oh, that knight's protected by the rook. That's why it was good to get that out. Okay, our best move is just to take the knight. Our best move is to move this pawn forward again. Queen to e6. Yeah, that puzzle's a little off for me because I mean, obviously I have more pieces now, but I'm definitely not going to find a mate in 7. And you saw that at the beginning. It suggested a repetition. All right, well, I have a few minutes left here, so I don't know if I should play a bot or if I should maybe finally take a serious look at the English opening, which I've been playing. I think that's what I should do. Probably should make that a separate video, but I'm experimenting with making these daily sessions in just one video when possible, so I'm going to do that now. All right, well, I didn't have a ready title for up there for learning a new opening. I probably should make one called Openings, but I had how to there, and that's what I'm doing, is how to play the English. I do know that it starts with C4, which if you open the book here, it should say the English opening. Oh, and you can't see it, but there's a column opened up to the left that says, the English opening, which starts with 1c4, is the 4th most commonly played opening move in chess. By playing this move, white allows the queen to move freely and also discourages black from responding with 1d5. Additionally, white ensures that the c-pawn will not be blocked behind a knight on c3. Okay, I got that. The resulting positions often resemble those that arise from d4 openings rather than e4 openings, and the move d4 is frequently played later on. Okay, I didn't know that for sure. I do know it's been recommended in several of my evaluations. It says, while this opening is not as sharp as 1e4 or d4, it is still effective in controlling the d5 square, which is here, and is highly flexible, allowing for easy transpositions into other openings. And it talks a little bit about black's possible responses like knight to f6 or g6, and it says those often transpose into d4 openings like the Indian defense. Now, if they play e5 here, which is this, it's called a reverse Sicilian defense. So basically, I'm playing the Sicilian against them, but I'm a move behind. No, I'm a move ahead. Okay, so it'd be like playing the Sicilian, except you're a move ahead. I think I got that, except I don't play the Sicilian, so I don't know what the ideas are there. So anyway, that column at the left basically tells you what the main ideas of this are. I'll be honest, I've been looking at articles like that about chess openings and watching videos for a couple of years now, and when they say sharp, I have no idea what that means. Now, I do a bunch of DIY projects in the garage, so I know what the word sharp means when it comes to knives, saws, chisels, router blades, and so on, because they can cut you and it hurts and you have to go get a Band-Aid, or worse. But I don't know what sharp means in chess. The only thing I can think of is that they're using it metaphorically to mean basically that you're in a d4 or an e4 opening, you're on a knife's edge, metaphorically speaking, so it's easy for the game to tip in one side's favor or the other. That's the only thing I can think of that they mean by sharp. But I hear it a lot. I hear it in YouTube videos from, international masters and so on. This is a very sharp opening, but I don't know what that means. If any of you know or can define that for me, let me know. I have this opening book here set to the Lichess database, but real quick, I'm going to check the masters database. It says masters typically respond with, well, there's 4 moves that are 10% of the time or more. Knight to f6 is most common. e5 is the second most common, and those two are both over 20%. Slightly less popular is e6, and all the way down at 11% is c5, which I guess is just a mirrored version of the English opening. But those are the moves that I can expect from the Masters database, but I don't play Masters. I haven't yet that I know of, other than one time I played a daily game against an international master. But yeah, in the Lichess database, e5 is more common. Okay, so I can expect e5, knight to c6, c5, and d5. Okay, so that's a slightly different order, or a slightly different set of moves, because d5 was not in the top 4 among the masters. It was e6, if we'll remember. I have seen d5 a couple of times. I'm trying to remember, that must have been against a bot in a game that wasn't on video here, but I assume I would just take if they played d5. Is that what Stockfish highly recommends. Yeah, because that's kind of why you have a pawn here, is to keep them from playing that. But this is called the Anglo-Scandinavian defense version of the English opening. Okay, so if I take that, they're going to take back with their queen, and then I would get the knight out. Okay, and then they put it back, or no, they're going to come over here or drop back one. Basically, like almost like the Scandinavian, except I still have my e-pawn. I guess that's why it's called the Anglo-Scandinavian. Anglo for English and Scandinavian. Okay, I got that. That reminds me a lot of the Scandinavian defense. Okay, and then I would play e5 or d4. I mean, sorry, e4 or d4. That's what it looks like. Okay, I think I can remember that. I don't know how far out my opponent would have played these. Sorry, I didn't mean to close the book. I meant to back up. What are they going to play besides queen taking? Some people just play knight to f6 here, which is like the modern version of the Scandinavian. And some people play c6, but it looks like almost everybody would take with the queen here. What if they played c6? What do I just take that too, right? And then they take here, and then I play knight to c3. Okay. Well, as we said, that's not very common. Okay, c5 is the next most common. About 10% of the time, I can expect c5. Okay. This is called the English opening symmetrical variation, as I suspected it would be. And it looks like the engine thinks this one is even. I should just play one of these knights out, and then they're probably going to put one of their knights out. Okay, well, let's say I did this one. They're going to get that one out probably. And then I'm going to put the other one out, and they're going to put the other one out. And now it's almost like the four knights game, except the pawns are in the wrong place, right? If those two pawns could just move over here, and these pawns could all take a step over, that would be the four knights, I think. That's when you play this, and then get all four knights out. But anyway, so we've played this and got all four knights out. Okay, it's the four knights variation of the symmetrical variation of the English opening. Well, now what do we do? Now I play g3. Well, I have been playing g3 a lot, but then they're going to play d5, maybe. Oh no, they're going to play g6 if they're in the Lichess database. The people that I play are going to play g6 here to keep up with the symmetricalness. And then I'm going to play here, and they're going to put their bishop out. And then I'm going to castle, and they're going to castle. That's what it says. 77% of people here playing black will also castle, and over 100,000 games have reached this position. And I'm going to play d3 or d4. Engine suggests d4. Wait, then are they going to play d5? Oh, a few people will, but most people will just take it. And then I'll take with my knight, I guess. And they might take with their knight, or they might put their queen over here, and then I would bring it back. I have serious doubts I'll ever get that far down that road, but it seems like despite at some points me saying 0.6, the engine eventually comes back down, and it looks like we would end up fairly drawn in most of those positions. But yeah, I suspect I won't ever get a symmetrical quite like this. And if I do, I'm probably going to end up playing one of these two pawns here rather than going all the way like Stockfish wanted. But I don't know. Okay, backing up. I could probably see a symmetrical variation happening every now and then, but more common, slightly more common, is knight to f6. Now, I'm pretty sure we have seen this in some of the games I've played, and in that case, I can play knight to f3, g3, or d4, but d4 we know transposes to the Indian opening. So let's say knight to f3, and then I can expect g6 or e6 or c5 now, or any number of moves really keep us very close to even, but slightly more common is g6. Well, I can get my other knight out. I suspect they're going to put that there. 93% of people will put the bishop here at this point, and then I'll play e4, it says. Not if I was a normal Lichess player, but Stockfish would play e4 here, okay. And then d6 is the top move both in the database and according to the engine, okay. And then I'll play d4, and yeah. And now we're in a d4 opening where I started with these two and then later played this one. I've been there. I've been in this position before when I played d4 all the time. This is the King's Indian defense. But that's, like I said, what I can most expect. I don't know if people that I'm playing are going to play g6 here, even though that's what it says, 30%, 32%. Okay, what about e6? In that case, do I still play knight to c3 or d4? That's what it says. All right, now they're going to play d5 according to the database. And then I would just take it. If I was a normal Lichess player, I would just take it. But Stockfish would probably push past. No, Stockfish would just put this here and let them have that. Okay. Does that transpose? Yep. Transposes to the Queen's Gambit declined. Three knights variation. Okay. And I'm pretty sure I've been in that position before. And then they're going to go put this bishop over here. So backing up. So if they played e6 here and I got this knight out, and if they played d5, I could just take it. It's about the same as playing d4. So what if I just take it, are we still in the English? Okay. I assume they're going to take here, and then I play d4. and we didn't transpose. But they're still very likely to come out here, which I'm not worried about because if they take that, I'm going to take it. It says my best move here is either bishop to f4 or bishop to g5. Okay, I'm okay with those. They're probably going to castle, and then I'm going to play e3, get this bishop out and castle. I think I understand the basic ideas of this. I've just had a few opponents play something a little odd, possibly because they're not familiar with it, just like me. I probably played some odd things when I faced the English a few times. All I tried to do when I was playing with the black pieces, and I saw the English, I didn't try to, to hop my knights and bishops in there and get some sort of trap going. In fact, now that I mention it, I could easily see an opponent coming here really quick trying to do something this way, because I play opponents that try little two-piece attacks, and I sometimes fail to them. But anyway, when I played with the black pieces, I didn't try those things. I just tried to get a few pieces safely developed and then castle and then go from there. But yeah, okay, so if it says my best move here is bishop to f4, what if they put a knight in there? It says that's one of their best moves. What am I supposed to do now? I would want to put my rook over, right? And it says a certain percentage of people would take here. Attacking my queen. Wait, couldn't I just check then? Oh no, their knight would take me. That would be bad. I would take their knight with the pawn. And then they're going to want to move that bishop and go back. And I would have a slight advantage. Okay, I'll need to remember this rook thing, but definitely not the queen thing. I'm surprised that was suggested as queen to c1 is my second best move. But in the database, most people play queen to c2 here. 39%, and only 17% of people play rook to c1, even though you would think that would be better. Because if you play queen to c2, what if they were able to add another attacker here somehow, right? You don't want your queen being the main thing going. But yeah, I suspect I'll have some opponents try this, and I'll have to remember rook to c1. Okay. I know this wasn't an in-depth study, but it was more than I've done before with the English, trying to familiarize myself with it, and trying to stick with my, my goal of every day doing something chess related, but more specifically analyzing my Lichess rapid game from the night before so it doesn't, get backed up like they did for a long time. If I have time, solve puzzles or do something like this or play a bot and so on. I think I'm doing pretty good so far. Thank you for those of you that have been sticking with me, and I'll see you next time.